Well, I think Expedia has for many years been trying to find alternative revenue streams. Just a matter of fact that if 100 people come to the site, most of the time less than 5 buy something. So, you know, if there's any way you can monetize the other 95, well, then that's interesting. It's also a matter of fact that while many use us for buying things, many also only use us for researching and comparing prices and then go directly to the provider site. So there's a so-called billboard effect, which in a way you could say you're actually creating a media impact for the people who participate on your marketplace, but you're not necessarily getting paid for it, right? So I think that's really what's been going on, and it's been going on in 2 different ways. So on one hand, it's happening within the TripAdvisor group that Mark Sharon represents, which is a separate, very clear media model. And then it's been happening on the Expedia sites, where we have been offering marketing and advertising solutions to many people here in the room. We've been working with many marketing, you know, tourist offices and tourist to promote destinations, but also to promote airlines and hotel chains on the site.
And that's been happening for quite some, even when I was there, people were looking into that. I think what the question is now, and I think you're getting it, is the model going to change? And is, you know, 5 years from now, the majority of the revenue going to come from the media model versus the transactional model? And I think especially we kind of talked about with what's happened with booking fees and service fees going away on the airline portion and the hotel portion, you know, or do we need to be looking for a new model altogether, I guess? I mean, I'd be interested, you know. I know that it's been a big growth. You know, I know if Dara was here, he would say that it's not as big as you think overall, like on the Expedia sites, on the media side. It's still a very small percentage. It's still a very big transactional company. But from your point of view, what do you think?
I don't see it changing in the next 3 years. I see, you know, the mix might change a little bit, but, you know, basically the very large part of what we do is transactional.
Transactions.
And there's a part there which is media-oriented.
Yeah, that's right. One thing we get all the time, because we've been asked, you know, is like, you know, what are you going to do in this space and what are you going to not do in this space? But one thing that Expedia hasn't really done is meta. It really hasn't got into that space, the whole meta, you know. Love your thoughts on that and where it's going, especially in Europe, because I don't think it's taken off it's just starting, I guess, from what I understand. Because I know some have come here and gone and tried.
Well, we sell flights. We have an online travel agency model for selling flights within Expedia, and that's what we plan to do. I think the meta ambitions and the plans we have actually done within the TripAdvisor brand, right? And that suits us very well for that. It's a pure play media play, and it can leverage the brand and the traffic that it already has, right? So I think Mark talked about this earlier this morning. I don't see that changing for Expedia.
Do you think, how do you, you know, with, you know, breaking into new markets and now the acquisition of Venere and kind of changing the mix, I guess, in the hotel world, the hotel space, do you think this new model, the Venere model, is going to be the model of the future in the hotel space versus the old merchant model?
We believe that various models will coexist going forward, certainly. We certainly see the benefits of the agency model, where Venere is one of the operators. It's perceived to be a little bit easier to operate than the merchant model that we've been offering. It has advantages for hotels in terms of the way cash flow and payments are handled, etc. So we see a very, very good pickup when it comes to smaller hotels, which have maybe less sophisticated revenue management practices in place. So for that area and for that segment, we see seems to be a winning model. But for others, like hotel chains or larger hotels in the cities, we see there's other models that also seems to be working very well.
So you believe you'll stick with both?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. You have talked about Venere. How you are planning to manage all the different brands, the different value proposition that you have in Europe? Because obviously Venere has been a great acquisition in terms of number of hotels and presence in the southern Europe, while you already had a relevant presence with hotels.com. So again, I think it's quite relevant to understand that actually you have Expedia Inc. and you have Expedia.com, Hotwire, and many sites. So I think it's quite interesting to know a little bit more the way you manage the portfolio of companies.
Yeah, so I only work to confuse everybody, I work with the Expedia consumer site, or the business unit, which is called Expedia. Expedia Inc. is then the holding company on top of everything. But what we did about a year ago was we decided to organize on global level into global business unit. So Dara has presidents that are responsible. One is responsible for Expedia, the consumer brand. It's about 20 markets worldwide. Hotels.com, which is in more than 50 markets worldwide. And the Expedia affiliate networks, which is the white label offering to affiliates. And then TripAdvisor and Hotwire, which today only exists in North America. So it's been a clear decision to start operating within global business units, and the biggest reason was to align, get business and technology closer to each other and align, and also to leverage technology investment on a global scale in a better way.
Perfecto. Pues yo creo que también vamos a dar la oportunidad, si queréis, de hacerle una pregunta a Mikael, en este caso en español, más cómodo. Si, aquí a la derecha.
La pregunta es la siguiente. ¿Cómo ven el desarrollo de los hoteles, de las cadenas hoteleras, del sector hotelero, que es un sector que en el año 2009 ha tenido unos resultados muy por debajo de lo esperado, mientras que los resultados de los distribuidores online han sido mejores que los del 2008, aumentando aún sus beneficios en un periodo de crisis?
¿Cómo lo veo?
De momento bien.
Yo pienso que estamos para trabajar juntos para que los dos y todos tengamos buenos beneficios, ¿no? Para eso estamos y es la manera que hay que seguir trabajando. Para nosotros, en nuestro caso, yo pienso que hemos visto que al final teníamos bastantes clientes que eran lo que tipo leisure y que no teníamos tanto cliente corporativo o de negocios, y el segmento negocios corporativos es el que ha sufrido más, y entonces hemos visto que nosotros nuestros volúmenes han podido mantenerse igual mejor que lo que pensábamos al mismo periodo del año pasado. El resto yo pienso que también hemos visto es que también hemos aprovechado el hecho de que como la población ha bajado, ofertas y precios de los hoteles, también ha ido a los consumidores, que también es una verdad. Entonces, la gran incógnita es lo que va a pasar en 2010. Van a ver el mismo nivel de precios, qué va a pasar con el ADR, etcétera, etcétera. A ver cómo se evoluciona. Luego, en cuanto a beneficios, en el caso de Expedia también hemos gestionado nuestros gastos de otra manera este año. Y esto de ahí realmente hemos sacado el mayor aprovecho.
¿Y alguna pregunta más para Mikael? La última ya.
Hola. En Estados Unidos habéis buscado otras fuentes de ingresos, como puede ser marketing en vuestra página web, como los sponsored listings. ¿Es algo que pensáis incorporar en Europa y en particular en España o todavía no?
¿Qué quieres decir con el marketing?
Lo planteo desde este punto de vista. Existen estudios de que un gran porcentaje de consumidores utilizan la página de Expedia como un referral site, sí, no como un booking site. Sí. Es decir, que luego se van a las páginas oficiales. Como reacción, imagino, habéis sacado medidas pues como lo que existe en Estados Unidos como el sponsored listing, es decir, en el modelo CPC, colocar y anunciar los hoteles en una posición determinada en la página, que serían las primeras posiciones. ¿Eso es algo que pensáis incorporar en Europa y en España o todavía no?
Sí, pues bien, gracias por clarificarlo. tenemos más o menos la misma política a nivel global en cuanto a cómo trabajamos de una manera transaccional y con media. Y lo que empezó en Estados Unidos, que es con los sponsored links, que es con un modelo de CPC, pero que todavía lleva el usuario y el cliente dentro del mundo de Expedia, a la página web de Expedia, esto ha funcionado bien en Estados Unidos y algo que estamos mirando para hacer en Europa también. Es cuestión de, lo que no sé la palabra en castellano, cuestión de scalability. En el mundo de Estados Unidos puedes empezar a hacer esas cosas y tener impacto y resultados interesantes. En 12 países en Europa el esfuerzo es más grande y el ingreso es algo más pequeño.
Sí, de hecho, en Europa estáis integrados dentro de AdSense en determinados sites para la monitorización del gráfico. Así que si tienen la experiencia, now I'm just explaining that in Europe, instead of using their own sponsor links model, they are part of our AdSense program. So we are monetizing the traffic that they have in their website, because as he was explaining, it's very difficult to scale that model when you have 12 different countries in Europe. So it's not the same that addressing one large country like the States.
Well, it's a resource issue. I mean,
So that's, finally, in internet, all is scalability. It's about scalability.
And I would say even in United States, I think we have AdSense links on our pages next to the sponsor links. So I think we have that. We see that benefit even in the US market to have that type of cooperation with you guys.